Hey, what's going on, guys? So we're back at it again with another terrible Halo opinion, and this one comes from the man himself, Summit1G. You know, I've heard Summit have some pretty decent takes when it comes to other things unrelated to Halo. But man, oh man, when I listen to this guy talk about Halo, I honestly feel like my brain is melting. You know, back when Summit was playing Halo Reach, when that first came to PC, he said a bunch of questionable things. But here we are now, and a new clip from Summit1G has surfaced and made its rounds on Twitter where he was discussing Halo. Some people agreed with him, and obviously a lot didn't. So we're going to be taking a look at that clip, and then I'm going to discuss it. We're also going to be taking a look at some other clips that I pulled from his stream a couple hours ago. I actually just randomly clicked on his stream, and he was talking about Halo. So I have some additional clips to go along with that one that was people were sharing on Twitter, and I don't think too many people have seen these additional clips. So we're going to be taking a look at all of this. But first, let's start with the clip that people were sharing and giving their feedback on Twitter. So here it is.
Halo, in my opinion, was not ruined at all. I think Halo 5 is the best Halo, personally. I think a lot of people that like the old Halos are caught in nostalgia. You guys have been playing the old fucking Halos forever now, and it's super fucking boring, dude. Halo 5 is absolutely the best Halo. Sorry. I know a lot of you guys aren't going to like that. I think that I like the boost thing a lot, whatever the fuck it was. I think it served for a lot of outplayability. And I enjoyed watching those tournaments a lot more than I enjoy watching fucking Halo 3 tournaments, which is boring as shit. Guys moving about 2 fucking miles an hour, burst rifling at each other, which you can't even really see the skill, right? There's a lot of skill there. You really can't see it that much because everybody's looking pretty much the same. But Halo 5, you bet your fucking ass that Frosty's out there making everyone else look bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's showcasing the fucking level of skill that the game can bring. Sorry, it's just how it goes. Nostalgia might be running some of you guys on that one, bros. Go watch Halo 3 and Halo 2. They're boring as
So, yeah, that was a very opinionated clip, which is fine. You can have an opinion, but he doesn't really provide much evidence to back up his claims. He's just basically saying, sorry, Halo 5's the best Halo because I say so. You know, I've talked a lot of shit about Halo 5, but I provide reasoning as to why I feel like Halo 5 is a terrible Halo game. And that's if you even want to consider it a Halo game. But hey, Summit saying that's his favorite Halo, Halo 5. Well, Summit, how much playtime do you have in Halo 5? How much? You know, Steven here, he found Summit's Halo 5 account. I don't know how the hell he found it. I was trying to find it myself. I couldn't find it, but Steven found it. And it appears that Summit only has 34 hours of playtime, almost 35, in Halo 5. Interesting. And you know what's funny is, in a clip we're going to be taking a look at in a few minutes, Summit was saying, oh, where's everybody at playing Halo 2 and Halo 3? You love your Halo 2 and your Halo 3 so much. Why aren't you playing it? Why aren't you watching it? Well, first off, a lot of these people who advocate for classic Halo and love the classic games, they have been playing classic Halo for years. Summit says Halo 5's the best Halo, and he only has 35 hours in the game. So why aren't you playing Halo 5? If it's such a great game, why aren't you playing it, Summit? And then Summit goes on to talk about how the classic Halo games are boring to watch. I guess because there's no abilities. You don't have your boost thing, as he calls it. He was talking about thrust, I'm guessing. He talks about how when you watch people play classic Halo, everybody looks the same, but in Halo 5, you can really see the difference between a top player and an average player or whatever. And yeah, that doesn't really surprise me too much coming from Summit, someone who has barely played Halo, at least barely played it in the last several years. I think most people who play Halo can tell the difference between a top player and an average or below average player in both classic Halo and Halo 5. So if everyone just looks the same to him in Halo 3, in classic Halo games, well, that's just a him thing. All right, that's not the case for most people. And it seems like he is trying to equate the use of Halo 5's abilities and how you can just fly all around the map. He's trying to equate that with skill. Yes, there is skill to the movement in Halo 5, but just because someone's moving around all fast doesn't mean that that's difficult movement. It doesn't mean that they're great at the game or really skillful. I mean, this is just a really simple-minded thought process. Oh, he's moving faster, so he must be really good. And because everyone moves slower in classic Halo, that must mean it doesn't take as much skill. I mean, it kind of seemed like that's what he was saying. And I do not believe that there is a larger skill gap in Halo 5 than there is in Halo 2 or 3 or Halo 1. Just because there's all these crazy abilities in Halo 5 and all these new ways to move around the map, which some of those do take skill, that doesn't mean there's a larger skill gap. Honestly, with the addition of all these different abilities in Halo 5, it actually takes away from certain skills that players had in the classic Halo games. With the addition of all these abilities in Halo 5, you had to start questioning a lot of different things during the game, whereas in Halo 1, 2, and 3, classic Halo, you had a much better idea as to when and how certain things were going to play out. And I've talked about this in some older videos, but I am going to do a new video soon where I really showcase just how drastically Halo 5's abilities changed that core Halo formula that so many had grown to love. I'm going to show a bunch of in-game scenarios that were for the most part consistent going from Halo 1 to 2 to 3, but not so much in Halo 5. And then at the end of the clip, you heard Summit go off about nostalgia. Oh, that's the only reason you like these old games, is because of nostalgia. I really hate when people act like that's what it is. It's just nostalgia. It's just rose-tinted glasses. No, those were just the superior Halo games. Like, that's what it is. And yeah, that's an opinion. That's obviously an opinion. But I and many others can back that up. Halo 1 to Halo 2 to Halo 3. All the way up until the release of Halo Reach, we had classic Halo. So from 2001 to 2010, that was 9 years. That was 9 years of classic Halo. 9 years of great Halo. And I feel like 9 years is enough to define a franchise. Not saying it can't change or evolve, but that core formula should stay the same. And that has not been the case with Halo at all. Honestly, I have yet to hear a convincing argument that supports the claim that Halo 5 is the best Halo game, or enhanced mobility Halo is better than classic Halo. I haven't heard any real good arguments to support that. It's all just opinion. None of it is factual. And, that's something I cannot stand when people say that to me. Oh, that's just your opinion. That's just your opinion. That doesn't make it right. Okay, yeah, it doesn't make it right because it's my opinion. I agree. That's true. What's your point? It is an opinion, and I can back my opinion up as to why I think Halo 4 and Halo 5 are terrible Halo games. I can back it up. People come at me and say, oh, that's just your opinion, as if that's a counter to my argument. It's not. Not at all. I mean, yeah, that's pretty obvious. It is an opinion. And your point is. And another thing I see is some people, they'll act as if advocates for classic Halo are trying to tell others what they can or can't like when it comes to Halo. And that's just that's just not the case. From what I've seen, it's definitely not the case for me. I'm not telling anyone what they can or can't like. You can love Halo 5, that's fine. Alright? I mean, I hate the game. I think it is a terrible Halo game, and I provide reasoning to back that up. I mean, that's it. People act like, oh, you're a gatekeeper. How am I gatekeeping? Like, you can like whatever you want. I ain't gatekeeping shit. I did say in a video that if you honestly believe Halo 4 and Halo 5 feel like a Halo game should, how should a Halo game feel? Well, like the first 9 years of Halo. I said if you honestly think Halo 4 and Halo 5 feel like a Halo game should, then you don't know what Halo is, or something along those lines. But again, I can back that up. I can back up why I believe Halo 4 and Halo 5 aren't Halo games. Or they aren't Halo games besides the name of the game being Halo, right? And I've talked about this in many different videos. I'm not going to do it again here. I already did briefly, but this video is about the man himself, Summit1G. So now let's take a look at another clip. I think I got like 5 more to show, and this is what I saw when I hopped into Summit's stream earlier. I just clicked his stream and he was talking about Halo. So let's take a look at it.
You're living in the old days. What is it with Halo players, DayZ players? I swear people don't know how to shake off nostalgia. I think nostalgia is quite a drug, and it's bad for video games, honestly. Unless you plan on taking something from that old video game and putting it into something new, nostalgia is bad for our industry when it comes to multiplayer games. You guys are so bent out of shape on change and don't understand that what you're living in is awful.
I don't know, I like that last line. And don't understand that what you're living in is awful. Ah, shit. Good old Summit. So yeah, he's talking about nostalgia again. So he seems to be under the impression that the reason so many people love the older Halo games is because of nostalgia. It's not nostalgia. I mean, he's just wrong there. People truly believe those are the better Halo games. A lot of people believe those Halo games are way better than the Halo games we've gotten for the last, 10 years now? It isn't nostalgia, but that's one of those things people will throw out there. They'll say, oh, you only like it because of the nostalgia, you have your rose-tinted glasses on, because they don't have an argument. A lot of advocates for classic Halo have sound arguments as to why classic Halo is the better version of Halo, or just the version of Halo. They have sound arguments as to why Halo 4 and Halo 5 are terrible Halo games. But then you do have people who are fans of Halo 5, they do like enhanced mobility, but they don't have much of an argument for why they feel like Halo 5 is the better version of Halo. They'll just say things like, oh, Halo needs to evolve. It can evolve without drastically changing the formula. They'll say, oh, the only reason you don't like Halo 5 is because you're bad at it. Or, like we said, you're stuck in your ways because of nostalgia. But anyways, the reason so many of us are huge fans of the classic Halo games, and we would like a new classic Halo game, which I don't think we'll ever get, is not because of nostalgia. We just truly believe that's the better version of Halo. And I know some people don't like when I say that, when I say that's the better version of Halo, people will say, oh, there's only one version of Halo. There is only one Halo. And I agree with that, but it's easier for me to say that, to separate the two.
I also have the same conversation with people about Halo 5. About how people really love Halo 2 and 3, and I think that they all just live in their nostalgic world, you know what I mean? And they just don't like change, they don't like movement, they don't like their game moving forward, Like every game that comes out in the future of Halo, it's just like the instant, like, oh, this game sucks, dude. H2, H3 is so much better. Oh, why? Oh, because you don't have all the extra stuff. My guy can't vault up walls. I hate vaulting. It's so dumb. Okay. Okay, that's fair. What else? You know what I mean? Oh, I just like being able to strafe and jump and shoot. And I don't like the jetpack. Well, why? I mean, just cause it's just dumb. It just gets you out of situations that should not be able to get out of, and you should be punished for. Okay. I guess that's kind of fair. You know what I mean? But what's so funny about Halo is, like, everybody preaches about how good Halo 2 and Halo 3 are and how we all love it. You know what I mean? But who the fuck's playing? Where are you guys at on the playing it? Who's playing it? Who's watching it? We're the guys that we're the people that are actually playing it. They're not fucking top viewers. Where are you guys at that are all preaching for Halo 2 and Halo 3? Just preaching away. It's so good. It's one of the best games ever. Halo 5 is better than all the other Halos.
Okay, so again, more talking about nostalgia. It's not about nostalgia. He says that people don't want Halo to grow or move forward. No, I would love for Halo to evolve. I would love for Halo to grow, to change, but in a way that stays true to Halo's core formula, you know, kind of like the transition between Halo 1 to Halo 2 to Halo 3, you know, over the course of several years, you know, kind of like that. And then he goes on to talk about the abilities, and he acts like people don't have a reason for not liking things such as clamber or the jetpack or thrust or whatever. No, people have reasons for disliking these things. People have explained this time and time again. It's not that we don't like it just because. No, we have very good reasons for not liking the abilities. Because it drastically changes how Halo plays. And, you know, I don't even know if Summit takes himself seriously. Because in some of these clips, he has this weird smirk on his face. Like he knows he sounds dumb. And like, it's like he wants to piss people off. Like he knows what he's doing. So that might be what he's trying to do. It might just be trolling or something like that. I don't know. And also at the end of that clip you saw, he was saying, oh, where are you guys at playing and watching Halo 2 and Halo 3? You guys love classic Halo so much. Why aren't you watching and playing it? Well, see, these games are very, very old. Okay? We've been playing and watching classic Halo for a long time. Okay? And I still play Halo 3. A lot of us still play classic Halo. But is it too crazy to believe that some people might have dropped off and moved on to other games after having played, you know, classic Halo for years and years and years? I think not. Just because there's not a ton of people still playing these 13, 18, I think 20-year-old games anymore, just because there's not a ton of people playing them does not mean a ton of people don't want classic Halo. That doesn't mean that everyone's in favor of modern Halo, enhanced mobility. No, a lot of people want a new classic Halo game, okay? Some people get tired of playing the same game for years straight. And again, Summit, where are you at playing Halo 5? I mean, you talk about how it's the best Halo and you don't play it. So you kind of contradicted yourself there, just a little bit. You know, honestly, some of the numbers that we saw for MCC when these games have released on PC haven't been that bad. I mean, not bad. They're not bad considering how old these games are. I know Counter-Strike is a very old game, and that when I checked the other day, that had 420,000 people online. But you got to think that game's still being supported and updated. And yeah, MCC is still being supported, but it's not like we're getting these major updates to the game. There hasn't been a ton of new content for these old games. Like, I mean, yeah, we're now getting skins for Halo 3, and we just got skins for Halo 1. But I'm talking like we would need new maps and new game modes and maybe new weapons or things like that. If Halo 3 had been the last mainline Halo game and it was being supported consistently all the way up until now, I do think the player base would be a whole hell of a lot larger. And when I say supported, I mean adding new content to the game over time. Like I said, like new weapons, new maps, new skins, new game modes, things such as that. So unlike what Summit was spouting off, you can't just say, oh, there's not a ton of people playing or watching these old ass games anymore. That must mean people don't like them. No, that's such a foolish thing to say. But like I said, man, I don't even think Summit takes himself seriously. I honestly don't.
It's easier on the eyes. Watching the tournament's more fun. Skill is more put on a showcase. Yeah. Watching a fucking skilled player in Halo 3, you're not watching much different than like from a pro to an amateur. You as a viewer, you're probably not gonna be able to see too much difference. But you go to Halo 5, and I bet you're asking to see a huge difference actually. And that's where it's like video games are important. It's like that skill ceiling. I understand that there is a skill ceiling in Halo 3 and Halo 2, and a large one at that, but it's not nearly as showcased. You know what I mean? You're watching same old school, boring ass gameplay that it needs to evolve and move forward. You can't bitch and complain every time it does. You know what I'm saying? I feel like nostalgia is bad for the industry.
So now he's talking about how classic Halo gameplay is boring, which is just so funny because this man has played a ton of Counter-Strike, and he was just in the stream today, he was talking about playing Counter-Strike during nights again. Like, how are you calling classic Halo gameplay boring, but you play Counter-Strike? Counter-Strike's an amazing game, takes a ton of skill to be, to play at a top level. I'm not shitting on Counter-Strike, but I mean, if you're going to talk about classic Halo being boring because of the stiff movement or the lack of abilities, well, then wouldn't the same thing apply to Counter-Strike, the game you've put so much time into? And like that it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, that's also just a really simple mindset. Oh, because you're moving slower, it's boring. And because people are flying around the map, it's so much more entertaining. Yeah. No. I'll take slow and methodical over chaotic randomness. He also said there's not much of a difference from watching a skilled Halo 3 player to a amateur Halo 3 player. But he says in Halo 5, oh, there is a huge difference. There's a huge difference in Halo 5. And that just comes down to his lack of experience and knowledge of the game. Like, he may not notice a lot of the smart plays a skilled Halo 3 player is making, right? It might just go right over his head. He doesn't even realize it. But for some reason, when he sees Halo 5 and he just sees people flying around the map, he just equates that with skill. I don't know. Again, that's just such a simple mindset. He says that the skill gap is more showcased in Halo 5 than Halo 3. Which again, I completely disagree with. It all comes down to his lack of experience with Halo, right? He just sees these abilities. He sees people flying around the map, and that he just latches onto that, right? He doesn't understand what it takes to be a good Halo player, because he's not a good Halo player. And like I said, I understand that with the addition of all these abilities in Halo 5, it does add all these new ways to move around the map. And there is a skill gap in the movement in Halo 5 and in classic Halo as well. But the addition of these abilities also negate a lot of the fundamentals from Halo 1 to Halo 3, the first 9 years of Halo. And I'll talk more about that in a future video that I'm going to do soon.
You guys are living in your old school fucking world. Video games don't work like that anymore. They need to push forward and move forward. They'll just be dead.
And that is the final clip where he says we're just living in our old school world. Games need to push forward. And that's just really crazy coming from somebody who has played so much Counter-Strike. What about CSGO? He says games aren't like that anymore. Counter-Strike is still killing it. There is still a huge player base on that game. On CSGO. Came out in 2012. No sprint, no abilities, no clamber. Just, a more classic style of gameplay. And it's still huge. You know what I would love to see? I would love to see Summit's reaction if Valve did introduce abilities into Counter-Strike. I know that's crazy to think, and that would just destroy the game, but think about that. What if they did add sprint and clamber and thrust and all that crazy shit to Halo or to Counter-Strike? Would Summit be saying the same thing? I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say absolutely not. So he's definitely biased, really opinionated. We know that. This is obvious. He's just, he doesn't have the experience with Halo, doesn't really know what he's talking about. He's probably aware of that himself, that he doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to Halo. But yeah, that's everything I wanted to touch on. Those are all the clips that I found from Summit recently. And what's crazy is this isn't just, Summit's opinions. When it came to that very first clip we took a look at, there were some people agreeing with him. They were agreeing with Summit. Like, some hardcore Halo fans were agreeing with Summit. And that's not really a huge surprise. I know there are plenty of people who love Halo 5. But I just want you guys to know that I didn't just make this video because Summit said something about Halo. Like, yeah, I understand Summit is Summit. He doesn't play the game. He's going to have a lot of terrible takes. But it's because I've seen a lot of people who are, you know, hardcore Halo players that have been playing Halo a long time agreeing with Summit's video, with his clip. So that's why I decided to make this. But anyways, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Another terrible Halo take from Summit. No surprise there. But stay tuned for a future video. I'm going to be working on this video soon where I will really... I'm going to show a bunch of different scenarios. I'm going to really break it down as to why I hate Halo 5 as much as I do and why I feel like that game plays nothing like a Halo game should. How should a Halo game play? Like it played for the first 9 years, Halo 1, 2, and 3. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.